Not much was clear 2 years ago today when police began investigating the murder of 4 U of I students and friends living in an off-campus home. In November of 2022, all the police knew for certain was that a knife had been used to murder the students while they slept. Ethan Chapin was 20 years old from Conway, Washington. Madison Mogan was 21 years old from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Xana Kernodle was 20 from Avondale, Arizona, and Kaylee Gonsalves was 21 from Rathdrum, Idaho. All were students at the University of Idaho living together off campus. These are the 4 friends who were tragically murdered 2 years ago in their Moscow, Idaho home. 2 years ago on November 13th, Ethan and Xana attended a Greek party while Madison and Kaylee were out at a local bar. According to a timeline assembled later by police, all headed home by 1:45 a.m. that night. There were also 2 other students living in the house at the time. One of the surviving roommates told investigators she heard crying in the middle of the night. She testified to seeing a 5'10" or taller man wearing black clothes and a mask inside the house, exiting through the back sliding glass door. Then she locked herself in her room and told authorities she did not recognize the male. The next morning, the surviving and uninjured roommates called 911 to report someone unconscious in the house. That's when authorities found the bodies of the 4 students. It took a little under a month for police to announce interest in speaking to a driver of a vehicle seen near the scene, and on December 30th, 2022, police announced the arrest of Bryan Kohberger, a University of Washington PhD student in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, for the murder of all 4 students based on forensic and DNA evidence gathered from Kohberger's trash by investigators matched to a knife sheath found at the scene. After his arrest, a second round of DNA testing provided a strong match to DNA found on the sheath, and by January 5th, 2023, new evidence had emerged showing Kohberger's phone losing signal during the hours of the murders. Now, Kohberger has been extradited back to Idaho and is awaiting to see whether or not he will face the death penalty. The house where the murders occurred was demolished earlier this year, and University of Idaho students are working on a memorial to remember the 4 friends lost that night 2 years ago today. Now Eric Walker joins us to catch you up on the case as it's progressed in court. Eric?